What's up, guys, and welcome to the heroic Lei Shi 25-man raid point of view guide. As always, I'm our Arcane Mage, and I did want to go over a couple things in this fight. The only difference in this fight between normal and heroic is the scary fog debuff that you have to deal with. Literally, this has got to be the easiest heroic in the game, besides maybe Stone Guards and Fang. I don't see another one that's easier than this. This is seriously, it just doesn't make sense how easy this is. Especially now with people's gear at this level in the expansion, this fight is just ridiculous. The only thing that's different between heroic and normal in this entire fight is the scary fog debuff and how it works, okay? It does X amount of shadow damage for X amount of seconds, and this effect stacks. As you can see, the boss, when he's got that little swirly circle around him, if you're outside of the swirly circle, you're gaining that debuff. So how we did this was, as you'll see on the purple and the green marker, we have two mages, me and we have the other mage, one of the other mages. We have three mages in our group, but irrelevant. And we also have our third tank is also grabbing stacks, okay? So typically, if you know how the regular mode works, the only difference is in this one, you just have someone else go tank, he comes out and grabs stacks, and then how you want to do this is, it's kind of a balancing act, okay? It's really the only extra mechanic that you need to get down. Once you get this extra mechanic down, as long as you can CC the ads, this fight is ridiculously easy. But what the scary fog does is it will stack on you, right? So the target, like if you're in range of a target, you do 10% damage they take from all sources. They take 10% extra damage. Now, and it says this affects stacks. So what you want to do is obviously, like, you want to keep your stacks high on the boss, but you also want to be careful, because if your stacks are too high and you're out, the healers then get taxed very, very quickly, because you do take a ton of damage. Because remember, you're taking all that damage when you have the stacks. So, and you can only afflict one target. So how we did this is, what you'll see is, if you're doing this right, you just want to type /range4, okay? Because that's all the bigger that the scary fog is. If you're stacking this debuff, if you're using bigwigs, it will do it for you. As you can see right now, it just popped up. What you want to do is you want to make sure that the boss is targeted. He's the only one within 4 yards. You do not want to be in range of the tank. You don't want to get hit by spray, and you don't want to be on the raid. So how we did it was, we obviously had our tanks in their normal spots, but then we had our raid pretty much on the red marker, and then our scary fog guy was on our yellow marker. Now what this allowed us to do was, when we rotated in, we used the lock portals, but when we went in, we were within range of the boss, and no one else was supposed to be there. So you're immediately getting the stacks on, because during getaway, again, there's a ton of damage. You need to burn them down as fast as you can, so you need to stay within 4 yards of the boss. This is the biggest part of this fight, is making sure that you're in range of the boss, but not anybody else, because you don't want to be giving anyone else stacks. Obviously, when your stacks fall off, you go back out, start getting stacks again, rinse and repeat. That's literally it, guys. That is the entire fight, is just managing these stacks. It's really not difficult. It just takes a little bit of getting used to, and getting used to the positioning. As a raid, you just really need to be aware of all the normal things, like ads. Ads are probably the biggest killer in this fight. The getaway phase is a good phase to have. Any DPS cooldowns is a nice one to use there, because, like I said, the trick's going to be is getting him out of that getaway phase, because you have people getting stacks, you have a lot of damage coming out. It's just a ton of damage for the healers to deal with. So the quicker you can get through the getaway phases, kind of the better off you're going to be. So that would be my recommendation there. As far as heroism, anything like that goes, we saved it for the last ad phase, and then went into the last phase there with him, and it seemed to work pretty well. We got quite a bit out of our heroism that way. But again, guys, the biggest thing is, once you figure out the stacks, this boss dies. Literally 3-shot this boss. Never tried it before, 3-shot it. Was not an issue. There was zero problems. It's just that easy of a fight once you figure out the debuffs. The best classes to use for the scary fog debuff, however, are mages, warlocks, or hunters. Okay, those are really the 3 best classes. If you want to use another tank, you can do that, because that way you can have an ad tank that doesn't have any of the spray stacks, so you can do it that way if you want. That's how we did it. Made, again, trying to make everything easier on our healers, trying to make damage as little as possible to try to help the entire raid out, so that way they're not worried as much about defensive, they're more worried about tunneling the boss, and our healers aren't constantly just That's the biggest thing you're going to run into, again, like I said, is just managing stacks, getting the ads down and CC'd properly again, because in heroic they will obviously one-shot you if they one-shot you in normal. So that's the biggest thing. So if you can CC the ads just like normal mode, you can do the getaway just like normal mode, you can do the hide just like normal mode. Everything is the same. The only thing you got to do is get rid of that debuff. Is have certain people getting stacks, have certain people jumping in and clearing their stacks and coming back out, and you're just rotating in so that that boss is constantly taking extra damage. And then it's GG. It's really that easy, guys. So I really hope you like this one.